Ahoy, mateys. That's what we have here. Got ourselves a Gilligan's Island. Got this yesterday. Hoping to do a full restore. See if we can't get this thing back to being minty fresh. It's gonna need some work, but I have no doubt we can get this thing looking sharp. Typical faded decals, that's normal. At least the metal here looks good. That doesn't, but I'm gonna powder coat all that anyway. Not too much wood damage, just a little bit. There's a little right here. And then on the back, it's kind of weird. I don't know how that got knocked off, this back rail right here, but I put some feet on there last night, so that way if we wanted to sit it down, I could, because it didn't have feet either. But overall, this will be the first restore I've had in a long time. It won't be rotting out. It won't be a cabinet that needs, CPR. I'm sure these aren't available anymore. I don't think. I got a lot of ideas. See what I can do in a minute. I'll get the glass off and we can see the playfield better. All right, so here's Gilligan's Island. I got the glass off. So we're gonna turn this thing on. Let's see what it does. I do know that it doesn't smoke because I turned it on once last night and then it had some errors. So we gotta see what these errors are. So let's find out. Let's turn this on. There we go. Some testing there. Okay, let's open it up and see what our errors are. Okay, set on the soundboard. Ramp error, I know what that one is because it didn't, the ball gets stuck, they said. Okay. They were saying that the ramp right here, this ramp goes up and down, but what it does is go up, but then it can only go up about part of the way and then stop. And then it would, as the ball went underneath, it would get stuck right up in here, and then this would just hold the ball. So you basically couldn't play once it did that, it just stops. Well, because the ball's stuck. So, anywho, let's just look this thing over, and you can see, number one, it's a re-import. So we know that already. So let's just take a look. Let's see this lockdown bar. I'm gonna take and get all the rest off and clean it up. See here, the apron, I can't tell if it's got, somebody tried to repaint it and then paint it over if it had some rust. But I think the art itself is gone. I don't think that's a sticker over the art. I think that's just flat out somebody's messed that up. And if you come here, this one had a sticker on it probably. And it looks like that's been peeled off and peeled that away. So basically, even though this looks nice and the shooter lane looks nice right here, this thing doesn't matter. I'm gonna have to go and see about getting stickers for this, or I'm gonna have to get out the old scanner and see if I can scan some of this and then repaint it. And I'll do it like Hep does and try to paint it black. Do the painting for the colors, and then I'll clear it and have it hopefully look really good as his. Well, it won't, who we kidding, it won't look as good as his, but maybe I can get it somewhat like that, because he's the goal in my mind, because he's the best. So here's the play field. We got a little error right here where it's peeled off, the sticker's peeled off, but everything looks pretty good there otherwise. So I don't know if that's something I could just touch up. It's like the black or the orange there and the black. I wonder if I could paint some of that and just paint it back and then clear coat it, and it'll be fine. Get some of these little touches here. It's got incandescent bulbs, so it's going to be not very bright. It'd be nice to get that better. That's Mylar. It's still got the original Mylar here. You can see it here. Right, yeah, there we go. You can see the Mylar here. I'd like to take that off, but I don't know what's going to happen. Well, I mean, take it off when I go to clear coat it. There's no point in taking it off right now. I want all the protection on this thing I can get. I wish I had a playfield protector I could put on there, because this right here, which a lot of times you see these are all destroyed, and they're hard to, excuse me, so they're so hard to fix that, you know, it's better off. I'm so glad that they're actually in good shape, but I want to keep them that way. So here we are. We got over here. Too bad I got a light out there, but that's no big deal. The saucer here looks a little rough. But it's not shaped too bad. It's something that you could sand down and paint, and then you clear coat it, it'd make that all right and nice. And because the wood's not missing, it's just scuffed through. Now here's one right here. I don't like this, how right in here. Let's see if we can get up close there and see it. Hold it up there and look. There we go. See that, where that's missing right there, and that's got to be repainted. So the playfield's a little rough in some spots. It's got some lifting here and here I'm not real happy about, because that sometimes is hard to fix. And some wear through right there. You maybe, yeah, that's just hard to fix. And there it goes, resetting. It's definitely got a reset issue as well, so I'm gonna have to figure out why it's resetting. So that's gonna be interesting. So let me back up here. You notice also, which I noticed there, the back box has no lighting. Nothing's lighting there, so there's something wrong with that. None of it's lighting up, the flashers or nothing. So I'll have to check that out. This is kind of subtle, but if you look right here, there's a broken plastic right there. Broken plastic there. The Thurston and Levy plastic's broken there. Over here you can see this one's, you see the warp in it right here. So I really didn't want to have to buy a whole new plastic set. Spend 170 bucks, even though you can get them at CPR. I really would rather try to make most of these work. Obviously the broken ones I can't. Maybe if I can find just those two broken ones, the rest of these I can actually take and polish up with some Novas too, and just kind of clean up. But it looks like everything else is intact and everything's working pretty good as far as I know. Sounds like the sound's working, even though it had that error. The DMD's got a really nice color and bright, which is good. Everything works there. All right, so let's open that back box and see. In fact, let's see. Put the keys here. Let's see. We got a key. There we do. Yes, we do. Let's get the key. Yeah, it's in there. The manual, which is awesome to have the manual of it, and the motor. I guess has been replaced, because there's the motor for the rotating jungle there. So obviously that's been replaced. Sounds like the sound's working fine, even though I had that error. All right, here's the back box, and yeah, as you can see, none of the lights are working. And I don't know if this is supposed to buzz. I know Dad used to have a reputation for buzzing, but I don't remember Valley's buzzing too much. Maybe that's why that error shows up. I'll do a checksum error. Let's see, let's open this up here. It's a little dirty, but it looks pretty good for the most part. It's like everything's here, which is good. See down here. Batteries, I don't see any acid damage or anything like that, which is great. Even though that'll get fixed and replaced with a either NVRAM or just a new battery locator. I don't see any like really burnt connectors. If I look across here. See that yellow one? I'm gonna assume that's probably that yellow one is probably a an add-on or something, they repaired something there, which, you know what, that's normally, if I remember correctly from a video I saw, that's where the Baxbox lighting is plugs in. So if that's a new plug and that's where it lights, maybe that makes sense, but let's look and see. Okay. What is that? Let's see. Looks like somebody soldered together these wires, and because that part of me is the limit, oh look, here's another one right here. And because that's limited on my knowledge of some of the electronics, I'm not sure why those would be tied together, but obviously that was not factory. The question is, why was that done? And is that why they're not working? So, meaning somebody didn't know what the heck they were doing, or what, I don't know. I'm gonna check it out and we'll see what we can find out. Hey guys, welcome to Gilligan's Island, right? So we're gonna dive in and we're gonna take this game. It's not in too bad a shape. It does have some errors that are really frustrating, but we're gonna work our way through them and get it done. I'm gonna condense this series down to not quite as many episodes. I'll try to skip some of the stuff I've shown before, like cabinet finishing or things like that, and let's try to focus on some of the problems that are not only unique to Gilligan's Island, but in general just unique problems that are ones that are tough to kind of deal with. So we'll kind of look over those. I'll show you all how I did what I did. I'm sure there are probably better ways, but that's just the way I did things. And so let's run that through, and I'll start chapter 1 here. Hopefully here pretty quickly we'll have chapter 1 out.